Good day, everyone that will be coming to Techbash 2025 of this year. I wanted to quickly get out a video to talk about the Postgres full day Precon. If you happen to be around and are considering coming, I wanted you to have the opportunity to install just the updated sample database that I'll be using, just to be ready. If you want to try and follow along, that's great. If you don't, you can just watch and do this later. But I use this sample database that I've been creating over the last couple of years called Blue Box. I'll talk to you all about why it's called Blue Box in our session this week. But I want to quickly show you how you can get it up and running. And all you need is a Docker-based image of a specific version of Postgres, which I'll show you in just a second, and then some kind of tool for querying. Now, if you love command line, you can just use pSQL. I will be using the open source community version of dbeaver. That is what I tend to demo with. I think it's a good IDE for Postgres. You could use VS Code and the Postgres extension, data grip. There's all kinds of tools you can use. Whatever you have, just some kind of IDE that allows you to query Postgres to follow along. So as long as you have an IDE, you can go ahead and head over to ryanbooz/bluebox. There is an install document here. And so basically you will need either a PostGIS version of Postgres running, and you can just use the official PostGIS Docker image. That has specific data types that are necessary for this database. So I actually use some geospatial data to do geospatial queries for some demos and so forth. And so you will need that. You can't just install this in a plain old Postgres database without the PostGIS extension installed. And so you can just use the first option up there. Or I've created my own version of a Postgres Docker image that includes PostGIS and a number of other extensions that we'll talk about throughout the day. They're not required. One of them, for instance, is like an automation extension that allows me to run jobs so that I can create data ongoing throughout the day. There is no built-in function in Postgres. Again, we'll talk about all this. So either or will work. Once you have that running, you should just be able to clone this repository. There are two SQL files in here. One is a schema file, and then one is a zip-based version of some data. And so you need to unzip that file, and then we can go ahead and create this database. And so I'm going to quickly show you how. Now I have Docker running, and I do have my special version of it running up there. Now I am going to follow this, these commands. I'm just going to copy mine. And again, I'm using pSQL here. I'll just say Bluebox 2 because I already have a version Bluebox on here. So I'm going to create that database and we're good to go. And then because these are not actual backup files, these are just the SQL scripts, the textual version of the data and the schema. And I have them separated for a reason, which again, we'll talk about some more, but that's partially file limitation size and GitHub and so forth. But I'm going to copy this, come over, and I just need to change my database name because mine is different. And then that will create the schema, and then it will load the data, everything except sample rental data. So this is a movie rental database that has a number of cool features, I think, even though it seems kind of silly that we're still talking about movie rentals. Once that data is loaded, we do want to get in the good habit of analyzing the database. And that just allows us to make sure statistics are up to date. So I'll go ahead and analyze this. And it went ahead and analyzed them. Finally, in order to actually query some data, we need to create it. So I have some included stored procedures that will create rental history to kind of get you something to get started with. This is a pretty fast process. I will show you how it runs, and I have this set up. And let me clear this so we can get up top here. I have this set up so that if you copy and paste this, it will create a year's worth of data. And again, this is one of those cool features of Postgres that we don't have to have specific dates. We can just do really simple date math by just doing additions and subtraction. All right, so the last step is we go ahead and copy this command in. This will execute the stored procedure inside of this database and create 12 months of data. Now this will take some time to run. It's a fairly fast process, but it will take 5, maybe even 10 minutes. I currently, I believe, have logging turned off, so you won't actually see this being processed. What we can do, however, is I could either open another session, or in this case, I actually have, as I said earlier, dbeaver open. And so we could just kind of query this as time goes on. I'm going to start a new SQL script, and I can say select count star from, where am I at? From rental, and I need blue box rental. And we should start to see that it is increasing over time as I execute this. And so it's pretty small down here. I like to generally do my text, but so you'll see that number is increasing. So you can see this is running. It creates about 1 million records per year. And so you can kind of get a little bit of a sense of how quickly it's being created. So that is what we're going to be using tomorrow. And then, when the session is on Tuesday, you can log in, explore some of this, but we have a lot to cover. And again, I'll be using this database, a little bit beefier version that I have that I take with me for doing demos, but this will allow you to get started. So I hope that's helpful. And again, we'll have a little bit of time off and on throughout the day to help you with some of this if you can't fully get it figured out. But give it a try if you want to try and follow along. If you can't, that's fine. Again, we'll have opportunities throughout the week. I'll be around Wednesday and Thursday as well. So, all right, look forward to seeing everyone at Techbash, and talk to you soon.